Hi, my name is Courtney and I'm with womenlivingwell.org and goodmorninggirls.org, and we are in Proverbs 31 and we're up to verses 17 and 18, and I am working on memorizing this Proverbs 31 passage for the very first time in my life. So I'm starting at verse 10 and I'm just going to go ahead and say it and bring us up to verse 17. It says, "A wife of noble character who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She is like the merchant ships, bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it is still dark and provides food for her family and portions for her servant girls. She considers a field and buys it, and then out of her earnings she plants a vineyard." And then verse 17 says, "She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her tasks." Verse 18, "She sees that her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night." We see when we read the passage all together that she considers a field, she buys it, and she's planting a vineyard. And then it describes the way she plants the vineyard. It says she sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for the task. When she has a special project like this vineyard, she gets on it, and she works hard to get it done. She doesn't get to the middle of the project and then say, "Oh, this is too hard, I give up." But she works hard and vigorously. Now, I have to be honest. If you ask my husband to describe the way I work around the house, around special projects, I'm pretty positive that the word vigorous would not be the first word out of his mouth to describe me. And so I wonder, what is it that makes her so amazing at her homemaking, that eager heart that just oozes out of the Proverbs 31 woman? Because I want that. Well, I think of how in our modern day conveniences, we've kind of traded in our rags and our soap for wipes with solution in them. And we've traded in our mops and our buckets for thingy-majigs that spray, and then we mop with them. And we have all these gadgets and gizmos, and we have books and magazines and websites and all these things that encourage us and help us in our homemaking. But the reality is we can have all those things, but if we don't have diligence and we don't have a heart that is willing to work, it just won't get done. And I think with the Proverbs 31 woman, we see how diligent and how she is so willing to work. You know, when I step away just for one day and I don't work hard, things begin to pile in my house. We get piles of clothes, piles of dishes, piles of toys, and just piles of clutter everywhere. Because I am needed in my home to manage it. And the minute that I'm not looking at it, it can become like a tornado. And I am not against going to sports and being involved in church and serving there and going to play dates and doing things outside our homes. But it is so important for us as women to spend time in our homes, homemaking. And we don't want to believe that those things that we do outside the home are more meaningful. Because this is the place where our children's hearts are molded, where they are growing intellectually, where they are growing spiritually, where they are growing emotionally. Our husbands need us there to find solace in this cold world where they go out to work, they come home, and they need comforted. And a home that has a woman in it that is working hard is such a blessing. It is rare. That wife of noble character, who can find? It is noble to work hard. Now, I am not saying that women need to be perfect with our homemaking. We will be discouraged and frustrated if we try to keep a perfectly cleaned home like the magazines we see. None of us live in better homes and gardens. Not you and not me. Don't ever believe that I live in a home that looks like a museum. No, that's not real. The reality is we live in a fallen world, and there will be no perfect homes until we get to heaven. In heaven, we will have a perfect home. I believe we actually all are given that longing for that perfect home because God wants us to long for heaven and to live with Him. But until then, we have to be diligent in our homes. Well, in verse 18, we see that it says that she sees that her trading is profitable. Now, we don't know what she's trading, but since it just talked about a vineyard, it could be the fruit of her hard work and her labor. She could be trading, the fruit from that. Or she could be trading something that her husband produced. Or maybe it's something that she worked hard on, because it says that her lamp does not go out at night. So there may be a special project. Vineyards aren't usually planted at night. So there may be a special project that she worked on long and hard into the evening hours so that she could trade, and she sees that it is profitable. That means that whatever product she created, it was quality and it was something that was desirable, and she priced it just right so that she could earn money off of it. She's a smart businesswoman. And I see this all over the place online with women that do blogs that make money, or Etsy and eBay, and there's so many different ways with craft shows and farmers markets and things like this. This is the type of thing that the Proverbs 31 woman was doing. And it says that her lamp does not go out at night. Now for some of us, that's irritating, okay? Because she got up early and now she's staying up late. And we think, hello, this girl is burning her candle at both ends. And, does she ever rest? Does she ever take a break? I have kind of two thoughts on this. One could be that her lamp does not go out at night when she's working on special projects. When she has something she needs to get done, she is willing to give up her free time in the evening when the kids are in bed to work hard, to do something that's profitable with her time. Or it could be a different season of life. There are seasons of life where maybe she needed to get a lot of sleep. She had newborn babies and things like that. And maybe in a different season of life when no one was waking her in the middle of the night, she was able to get up early, go to bed late. Also, we think of different seasons. Her candle burning late at night could mean 9:30. I mean, if the sun sets at 5:30, we have artificial days created in the middle of our nights. At 10:30 at night, if I turn on all the lights in my house and turn on the TV and music, it can feel like daytime here. But the reality is that didn't happen during the Proverbs 31 woman's time. She didn't watch TV in the evening. There were no TVs. So she never ever, the Proverbs 31 woman never ever watched TV in the evenings. And so she didn't have that daytime feel that we can have in our homes. So quite possibly she turned in by 9:30 and got up at 5:30 and got more than enough sleep. She wasn't burning the candle at both ends. So what I take though from this is that we need to remember that our free time in the evenings still belongs to the Lord, and that we need to evaluate that time. What are we doing with it, and how can we put it to good use? Not just use it to put our feet up and rest, which I'm all for that, but there are times where we don't need to daily be doing that. We can use that time to be profitable and to be useful for our families, and so we just need to evaluate that. I see that in these 21 verses of Proverbs 31, that just over and over and over, we're looking at her work ethic. And so that's actually what I'm getting from these verses as I study them even more closely. Even after writing the ebook, I'm just thinking, that's what this is all about. This is about a Christian woman who's willing to work hard. And so that's what I want us to strive to be. Let's strive to be women who honor God with the way that we work hard at home, so that others will see shining lights of women who are willing to serve God and love their families in this way. Keep walking with the King.